This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Cassells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes.
Great Scott! Just when you thought it was safe to reminisce about the classics, Hollywood is revving up the DeLorean once more. Introducing Back to the Future 4, the reboot of the remake of the sequel, because who needs original ideas when you have a time machine? Join Marty McFly Jr., a teen who's somehow still in high school despite the decades passing by. He's on a mission to travel back to 1985 to stop his father from preventing his grandfather from altering the timeline that originally messed up the future, which is now our present. Confused? So are we. Witness the cutting-edge special effects that make you say, didn't they do this already? Marvel at the reimagined plot that's eerily similar to the original, but with smartphones and obligatory social media references. Featuring an all-star cast of today's trendiest actors who vaguely resemble the originals, but bring none of the charm. And don't miss the cameo appearance by a CGI-rendered Doc Brown, because why not? Critics are raving.
A bold step backwards.
The redundant times.
It reminds us why we love the original, so we watch that instead.
Nostalgia Weekly.
They must have really needed the gig.
The Cynics Review. So buckle up for a wild ride that's less of a leap forward, or more of a shuffle in place. Back to the Future 4. Because time isn't the only thing being recycled. Coming soon to a theater near you, whether you ask for it or not.
I love, oh my god.
Hello and welcome, guys, to Stories, The True and the Fictional. When Chris made up that ChatGPT script, I was like angry because I don't want anyone to touch my beloved Back to the Future. But then I read it and this is pretty damn funny.
Is it,
You had to do it.
like, O1 is still in a preview mode, and so, like, and the best part about it is it's still bitchy. You can still sense the bitchiness behind its tone. And, like I'm pretty sure they're going to try to, like flatten that out a little bit. But it still has it still has the, like, just... It understood when I asked it to focus on Hollywood and their love of remakes. I didn't have to say anything more than Back to the Future for Hollywood and their love of remakes, highly satirical, and it understood exactly where I was heading with the direction, and it nailed it perfectly. Oh my goodness! But the sad thing is, I could see that happening soon. I know that you don't want that to happen.
No, well, the thing is, it won't happen because the rights are still with the creators, and they're literally saying over my dead body.
But they will have to die at some point.
They will die at some point, and then maybe, possibly. But the thing is, there's comic books, there's a video game which technically is Back to the Future 4. I never played it though, so there are things out there, but it's the movie itself. They're just not going to do it, and it's almost like you want them to do it, Chris, because maybe it's because Star Wars was destroyed, and now you want everyone else's beloved.
No, I want you to feel the pain I feel, Jamie. Honestly, if I was a billionaire, I would fund the creation of Back to the Future 4, and I would get the right, just so you could understand, Jamie, just so you could feel.
Yeah, well, I get the vibe that the creators are a little more stubborn than me, so good luck.
Actually, having said that, if I was funding that, I'd actually would do a true and faithful retelling, but that's because.
But if it was possible, they would have done it already.
That's true.
I was working in Hollywood, and I said, I have the rights, and you're not having them over my dead body.
Hollywood's probably going, oh,
so there's a way.
okay. Well, accents happen.
Accidents happen.
Now, if I was in Hollywood, I would take the Argentinian president approach and just walk in there and go, "Abuela, abuela, abuela." Just
no. If you're in Hollywood, they would come to you and say, "I want the rights." No, you know that Diddy party that you're at? Well, I have photos and evidence, so I'm just gonna slide this across the table.
Which means that if they haven't done that already, it means that one, they don't have faith that it will actually make money, or the owners of Back to the Future have dirt on everyone else.
No, I'm almost certain. I could be wrong. Look, I've worked.
They hosted the parties.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a sneaking suspicion because I've worked in an office workplace before, many of them, and I still do. That's the point. The point is, after you work with a lot of people, you have so much dirt on everyone. They have so much dirt on you. We used to joke in one of my teams to say if one person goes to HR, we would start throwing people under the bus faster than you could count. And eventually the entire organization would go under because of all it takes is one person to step in line and we all start throwing slinging our dirt and secrets. And yeah, I almost kind of feel that Hollywood's probably in the same boat, that everyone's got so much dirt and everything. Yeah. It's like, if you throw your dirt, don't you forget that I have my dirt. I have my dirt on you.
They're in a forever Mexican standoff.
A forever Mexican standoff. But I like to think that of why certain executives, who shall name remainless, can release flop after flop after flop and still have their job, while some newer executives can only release one or two flops before they get kicked out because obviously they don't have the dirt that everyone else has. Yeah. It's all about the dirt, Jamie. Speaking
of dirt,
and there's not so much dirt. Speaking of bribery, compromising images, and all things Diddy Party, we have an expert on the call, Neil Cassells. How are you going, sir?
No comment.
Of course,
no comment. If we're bringing that up, I'm not saying a word.
I know. Oh, brilliant.
I don't want the photos of me getting out.
And that's what everyone is worried about. That the photos of him would get out. Because he's a powerful man with powerful connections to all things powerful. Speaking of a man who's powerful but somewhat past his prime, whose starlight is dwindling and fading, Jamie Braden, how are you going, sir? Now that your publisher's gone under, how are you going to manage?
Oh, just fine. Just fine. I actually finished my next book. I can finally put that series to rest and move on to something more fantastical.
Indeed. And tell me, what did you learn from Buck's Night trilogy? Because from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong here, it was not a normal type of story that you would write.
No.
And it had to sort of push your boundaries of one, because you live in a hobbit house in the woods. The main character had friends and and loved ones and relationships. So how did you manage to write about those subjects without much first-hand experience?
Considering that the whole premise and all the characters, at least on the male side, are based on real people in our friend group. I don't know how much truth there is to your statement.
Okay, I'm male side fine. What about the female side?
Oh, that's all fiction.
And what was your basis of fiction? So obviously, when you write something, you'll watch movies, read books, you pay hookers to talk to, so you can then understand how women talk. Things of that nature that you would normally do.
You're blurring your life from my life, but sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because sometimes you just need, high priority as well, just to talk to, nothing else, just a good conversation. But was there a specific romantic comedy film that you sort of watched, that you went to, like a certain excellent film starring Vanessa Hudgens?
That wasn't even out when I started this whole trilogy.
It wasn't out, but you I want you to tell me about it because I know you watched it and I know you liked it.
I didn't say I liked it.
Tell me about it.
What, the movie?
Yes.
The Night Before
Your
Christmas.
experience of one of Netflix's greatest films.
I didn't even go looking for it. Like, it's like Netflix was just going, hey, on the podcast when Chris mentioned this romantic comedy, well, here it is. And then I don't know what came over me, but I clicked on it, and then I didn't turn it off. I don't know why. I was just like...
So you're enthralled.
I should be hating this. I should be hating this.
You should, but you can't hate it. It's fantastic.
It is utter cheese. Utter cheese. And
that's what makes it special, Jamie. Again, Netflix has two, what I would like to call generation-defining films on its catalog. Love in the Villa with Cat Graham, and
terrible movie.
You shut your dirty whore mouth, Jamie.
I didn't finish it. You said it was good. It's much like that Hellcats show, which you were just like begging me to watch.
Yeah, okay.
You're going, here, watch it. Just give it 3 episodes. I'm going like, oh, this is so bad.
I didn't make it past 2 episodes, but that's not.
Yes, no, that is a lie because you had the entire series.
Oh, yeah, I downloaded the entire series. Doesn't mean I watched it all. Anyway.
Yes, you did because you told me about it weekly.
What did I? Okay.
Yes. Do I need to go back to the Facebook chat threads?
Look, if it's in the receipts chat thread, it happened. But so that Netflix makes 2 great films, and the reason why I like and I appreciate Netflix for making these films is because everyone's thinking that there are 2 kinds of films that need to exist: giant over-budgeted blockbusters and horror. It's like no. There are other styles of films that are just as good that should exist. The mid-tier film, as some like to call them. Rom-coms, romance stories, stories about unbelievably attractive people doing unbelievably jobs that they would not do. It's like, hi, I'm Kat Graham. I'm a school teacher. It's like, no, you're not. No school teacher looks like you. Or maybe they do in America. That's why they keep getting all like arrested all the time. Like maybe that's also. maybe that's
I think it's in the eyes of the students get to dictate whether they're, because there's always that teacher that the students have a crush on.
Oh, that is. But now they reciprocate. Like that's the crazy part about modern society.
No, when I was in high school, one of the teachers ran away with a student.
Oh, love that story. Romance at its finest. Where's that film, Netflix? I do want Vanessa Hudgens to star in that one specifically.
Chris, because they missed the window of opportunity. Remember the year when all the Oscars?
Went to weird shit. Yeah,
it was like bestiality and pedophilia were the winners.
Yeah, they missed the window.
It was like 2017 or 2018 or something.
Yep. Speaking of bestiality, obviously this podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn trilogy. Neil, would you classify that as bestiality? I don't think so, but again, it's
werewolves and yeah, but they're humanoid werewolves, aren't they? Like they're not the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing werewolves. They're
they're either wolves or people shaped.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, then
I don't think there's any point where there's a wolf shape and a people shape
doing
enjoying
things,
each other's company in a grown-up manner.
Has Rebecca Cassells thought about this? We've all seen the Baldur's Gate bear scene. Has she thought about like trying to do that with the book?
Shock fans.
I can ask. I can ask. I can plant the seed of
look, honestly,
in the mind and see if it takes root.
Plant the seed, see if it takes root.
She'll know it came from Chris.
She'll absolutely know it came from. There's no one else that there's literally no one else in the world that would suggest something as awesome as what I just suggested. Now, speaking of things that are awesome that I suggest, what have you watched? Have you been watching much this week, Neil? Anything exciting that you want to share with the group?
I have rewatched Alien Romulus now that it is available on digital streaming this week, and enjoying that just as much as I did the first time. Sometimes I'll watch a film, then I'll watch it a few weeks later again and go, I'm either enjoying this more or less, but no, I'm still enjoying it. And my daughter and I sat down to watch the original Beetlejuice.
Oh.
She wants to watch the sequel.
Obviously, Beetlejuice.
Doing the rounds because she's, I think she's digging the whole Tim Burton aesthetic at the moment. Yeah. And she watched Netflix's Wednesday with Jenna Ortega. When she saw Jenna Ortega was in it, she went, I want to watch that.
Of course.
Said, well, you need to watch. I looked at the rating, and in this country, yes, if I go with her, she can go and watch it. I said, but we've got to watch the first one. What do you mean, first one? Oh, no, Beetlejuice. Just singular Beetlejuice. And she said, oh, well, who's in that? And I said, you like Stranger Things, right? It's Will's mum. Will's mum is in it. And significant, and she didn't recognize her. She's a little bit younger.
Just a bit.
And unfortunately, if I said to her, oh, it's got Gina Davis and Michael Keaton, I don't think she's seen anything with them in.
The names probably meant nothing to her.
No. But we rewatched it, and I've not seen that movie in a good decades, I think. And yeah, that holds up. That holds up. They get a lot into that movie, and it's not long. It's very well paced. They get a lot of information. I mean, the movie's set up within the first 10 minutes. You know, the premise is there. It's set. The characters are all introduced. It doesn't hang around. It doesn't waste time.
So if they make a third one, I hear that Beetlejuice himself will have to turn up at the cinema. You know,
well, they've said it 3 times.
Yeah, so we watched that, and I think the TV's mostly been capitalized with Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Just I'll leave the room. I'll come back. Grey's Anatomy is on. Oh,
yeah. So not by choice.
Joy.
You just walk in and it's there.
Yes. Other members of the family are enjoying it.
Have you told them that Scrubs is the better version?
There's significant things in Scrubs that I don't think has aged particularly well.
Yeah,
and it depends on depends on also where you watch it. If you watch it on, say, the original DVDs,
yes,
amazing soundtrack. If you watch it on Disney Plus, certain songs they don't have the rights for.
Yeah,
and so they just went to what I would honestly, if they clearly put zero effort into it.
No, it was a rush job. I listened to their podcast for a little bit, and the guy that actually was in control of all the music for that project was you know whenever they did a scene where Death was there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's a box of candy. You know, that's the guy. Mm-hmm. And he said it was very hard, like, because it was painstakingly all those songs were chosen, like, for the show.
Yep.
When they released on television and all that. So Zach Braff and Jordan, I don't know the actress's name, but she's they were the ones that always focused on the music, and they picked everything perfectly every single time.
Yeah.
And then it goes to streaming. We don't have the rights to put this on streaming. So they went, what's a song that's sort of similar themed, you know?
No, they didn't even do that. They chose they just chose, like, basically I know where they got it from a free library of songs. It was that bad. Like, they just literally just, like, it was half-assed.
Yeah. It was a rush job. Like, completely.
Now, thankfully, it's only bad in season 1 and 2.
Yeah, all right.
It sounds like as the show went on, they clearly got better rights in their deals, because it clearly, like, the music fixes itself. Sort of, it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, is it bad in season 1 and 2? Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
But season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, the musics are generally like you know, they got the rights to, like, you know, the Book of Love and things like that. Like, they got the like all.
It's kind of like very important to the ending.
Exactly. Yeah. So they got and let me be very clear on that. That is the ending of Scrubs.
Yes.
There is no more Scrubs. He walks off into the sunset on that perfect moment, and it is beautiful. And that is exactly the life that he's going to live, because that's exactly because who says he shouldn't have it? There's no other show that beautiful moment is there.
The thing is, season 9 was supposed to be a spin-off, but the studio or whoever they were working for wouldn't allow it. That's why it was called Scrubs Season 9 Med School, because they were like very trying to clearly separate it from the rest of it.
Talk about sticking a landing.
Yeah. But most seasons do that, but then they continue after they shouldn't.
So we know that Jimmy's watched Night Before Christmas.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I've not watched. I've watched my usual anime. It is once again the start of a season of anime, which it's I think it's the winter season. Can't remember. Whatever. The point is, it is the time of the year where we get all the anime about high school students being hit by buses in Japan or trucks and going to fantasy worlds. It is the perfect time for anime isekai. In the isekai, it is the perfect time for the. But having said that, there's actually been less isekai this season, and I'm going, what's going on? What's going on, Japanese writers? You're not killing off of Japanese people and sending them out to fantasy worlds. What's going on? Like, come on, seriously.
They're too busy scoring own goals against Australia.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
Yeah.
We were so bad, just briefly, that Japan is top of the tier on the of the group, and then they beat us 2-0. No, was it a 1-1 draw?
But they scored both. Yeah, they scored both goals. Yeah. But but I have forgone the PlayStation. Actually, I have nothing's coming out that's good at all.
Not like, when's Wolverine come out? Or Logan or whatever it is. I'm interested.
2026,
I'm like cautiously interested.
So I have now switched to my gaming handheld, the ROG Ally X, as my primary gaming device now, and I kind of understand. Like, am I a full PC gamer? No, never. I'm never going to be one of those you got to have the latest graphics card, even though there's no game alive that can support this card. I know. Yeah. But I do understand the Steam store a little bit better now, where it's where it's going, hey, Steam sale. And I picked up a game, Lost Eidolon. It's a turn-based tactical game. It's a Western fantasy, but it's made by Koreans, so it's good. So it's actually the story is good. The characters are attractive. It's all it's something that a Western studio that would never try to do, at all.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, anyway. And I picked it up for $17. And I've been playing it, and because I actually looked at this game on the PlayStation Network and it was for $95, I was like, oh, it looks like a cool game. But I was like, $95. I was like, yeah. Anyway, $17 I picked it up for. And I'm 8 hours into it. I'm going, this is an amazing game. Having said that, my skills of gaming have declined. I have had to put it on casual, and I've had to turn off permanent death for my party because I'm a filthy casual. And I clearly
You've become the very thing you swore to destroy.
The very thing I swore to destroy, because when I'm playing in a room and then my son's climbing all over my head, I can't.
Oh, well, that's different. That's distraction,
I can't hyper focus on turn-based strategies anymore to understand one mistake could lead the death to my entire party. I'm going, I need the game to give me a little bit more leeway these days. Look, sad, I know, but there's the nature of things. That is the nature. Neil, did you pick up the Diablo expansion, by the way? Because I know you're playing Diablo. Did you waste your money?
I have not bought the expansion because I've not touched anything on my PC in the last week or so, and I've not reached the end of the original game yet. So normally, if I buy Steam sales, my wish list is quite chunky. So when the sale comes up, I get the email saying,
hey, this is on
17
sale.
items are on sale. And I look at it all going, oh, these are some really good discounts, but
exactly.
There's at least £100 worth of games here. But if I see one and there's like a DLC expansion, I like to play the original game without the expansion first.
Yeah.
And then I get to enjoy what the expansion gives me.
Yeah.
If they add a load of features in to the expansion and I just play it for the first time all together, I don't appreciate what that expansion was.
Apparently, everyone hates this expansion. It's terrible. It's gone horribly. Apparently, it doesn't add much to the game apart from a new character. Apparently, it's all for those. If you play the game for the story, and like that's what I've heard that like it's pointless. It's all basically like, hey, this is more end game run things for those end game runners. I'm like going, oh, okay. But
so they've made the expansion exclusively for Elon Musk to stream on X using Starlink to test it.
Yeah, basically. What? Hey, that man. Hey, the man's a fan of the game. So, although what I found is interesting, Jamie. You know how we always assume the computers are listening to us.
No, they are.
Yeah. When I was teetering on getting the Log LAX, I obviously looked up online a bit of it, and like I was like, should I get it? Like I could get a really good. And I was debating for a while on what I should do. Steam then announced for October, between the months of like 1st of October to the 11th October, it is a JRPG sale month where all of the games that I want are on sale at a massively reduced discount and bundled together. And I was like going, oh, Steam, listening in on me, aren't you?
Yeah.
I didn't buy a Steam Deck because that'd be stupid. But anyway, but I have now. But anyway, I don't want to. This is not a PC podcast. So I don't want to go.
I don't know. Look. We love Henry Cavill. He's a PC gamer, so it's sort of relatable.
Sort of relatable. Yeah, I do. Yeah. And true. And I'm sure Cat Graham knows what a PC is. So again, it's so I think it's somewhat relatable to all of our topics. Now,
no, well, quickly because I have watched more than that movie.
I don't think you have, but okay.
I have. I've watched
okay.
4 or 5 movies.
Okay, let's talk about them.
I'll save my favorite for last, but I watched the new Beverly Hills Cop. Like
oh, that's a shame.
It didn't. It wasn't terrible. It was kind of like it didn't capture the heart of the originals, essentially.
80s, does it have 80s violence?
It had an 80s feel. They did use the theme song very beautifully. Even when there was like almost there was like a sadder moment, and it played that theme song almost like Scrubs, when. But like so it was like a more slower, and I was like the elements that were pretty cool. There was like a hilarious bit. So there was a bit where there was all these guys raiding his friend's or someone's office that like this thug's looking for stuff, tossing, tearing it apart, and he just Eddie Murphy walks in there and starts going through stuff. He's like, man, I can't believe this. And they're like, who sent you up here? And he's like, you know who sent me up here? And it was like, oh, was it Max? Yeah, of course it was Max. And then they start going through stuff and complaining, and then one of them picks up a photo and he's in it, and he goes, this is you. Standard, it wasn't horrible. I don't regret watching it, but it's just it was lackluster. That was one. I watched a Netflix movie called Rebel Ridge or something, which the trailer's better than the movie.
Of course, like most Netflix.
but it wasn't. I would have liked it to be a little more violent. Because the trailer made it look like it was going to be more violent. Like guy, former, military guy, riding into a town to bail his cousin out. He's got a bag full of cash to do that, which he, legally, like he sold his car kind of thing to get his cousin out of prison on a misdemeanor sort of thing. And then the cops, kind of dirty cops, trip him up, take his money and all that stuff. And he's has a bit of a standoff with the cops.
As you would.
And they're looking into his background, and they're like, oh, like special. I can't remember which branch it was, and they're like, oh, don't worry, he's never seen action, like so he never went behind lines, and they go, that's fine, and then it's got the crappy little small town dial-up internet, and they're like going load, and he's out the front with the cop, which is treating him like crap, and he's just like load, and they're like, oh crap, no, this guy's like an expert, like he trains the guys that go behind enemy lines, and he's like an expert in close quarters combat, and, and he's walking up.
Classic.
So it had beautiful moments, but he wasn't a killer, so he'd like taser everyone, and
that's lame.
And it's just like this could have been really cool. Look, I still recommend watching it. Like it's good watch.
You know what? That sounds like a studio note. Let's not have him kill. Like no.
No. Well, people die in it.
But no, he should be like just gunning them down. He should be gunning them down. Yeah. Like that's Like Neil, would you watch a movie that has all the rights to have a man just gun a town down and they pass it off? Like you wouldn't watch that, would you, Neil?
Terminator 2 exists.
Yeah, fair point.
I rest my case. No, I would. If there's a good reason why a character decides to take the high road and not kill people, then that can be interesting, especially if it puts them at a disadvantage, or you come up with really creative ways of them neutralizing a threat without being lethal.
Like MacGyver's fear of guns.
Yes.
Which is hilarious.
Not as boring as I enjoy Batman, but Batman doesn't use guns, Batman doesn't kill. Yeah, but it's just I'm gonna beat the bejesus out of people until they could conceivably have a traumatic brain injury and die of an aneurysm.
That's like when they said Captain America doesn't kill.
Yeah, one of the original Michael Keaton ones where Batman doesn't kill, but he stuffs an explosive into some clown guy's pants and tosses him off over a wall where there's an explosion. Are we going to assume that the explosives fell out of his pants and he was blown clear and got a bump on the head and decided, I need to rethink my life? No. Homeboy's dead.
I think it's more like Batman doesn't kill noticeably or on screen.
Nor does Captain America, where he throws his shield into that dude's head and then kicks him through the wall. That guy's alive. That guy just gets up and goes, "Ow, that hurt." That hurt a little bit.
Have they ever actually said that he doesn't kill, or they just
it's implied? But again, the man has a strength to hold a helicopter.
Yeah,
with his bare arms. If he kicks you in the chest, you're dead. You're dead. Yeah. Like he can run down a car. If he kicks you in the chest, you're going to feel your chest cavity. Yeah. You're gonna like. Actually, I'd want to see. Okay, I want to see this. Okay, new movie. Captain America quits being an Avenger and joins the UFC. And I just want to see like, I just want to see how many like
One Punch Man.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan on the side, they're going, whoa, how huge hits! Like, okay, yeah, you know what? Because he had to do something whilst he was living his best life, you know, with Peggy Carter and like living and keeping himself hidden. He had to do something. So why couldn't he have just like disguised himself as a UFC fighter and like had to like make sure the fights looked fair? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, the thing with Spider-Man is he always pulls his punches. Like, you know, like he's stronger than Captain America, but he always pulls his punches because he doesn't want to hurt people.
Is that confirmed in the MCU as well? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you can actually see it when he's fighting Cap. But that's just an overall premise with I know definitely in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, you can tell he's pulling his punches. And then the whole idea is that when he gets the black suit, then he's like, I ain't pulling punches, you know.
And they've done the same thing with the comics in Superman, where like where villains push him too far and he goes, okay, I'm gonna start throwing hands now, and then like it's like, oh, okay. Because in reality, if Superman punched a human, that human would die. He has to obviously just really be careful
Yeah.
And you know, the best example of this is from my favorite TV show, Smallville. When he was talking about playing quarterback.
Yeah.
And every single time someone hits him or tackles him, he has to make a conscious effort to like crumple his body and fall down and like, because, you know, if he just stands still, that dude would die as he hit against his body. Like,
it's not like that classic scene in the Christopher Reeve one. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 where he's in the diner. And they go, "You sit in my chair." Yeah. And then the guy gets up and just punches him and breaks his hand. And he's just like, you know, that's
interesting.
And the last movie I watched, a good friend of mine, Matthew Holmes, made a shark movie, which he didn't want to make. He hates shark movies, but he makes a shark movie, and it's one of his best films. Set in the 1940s, so it's not annoying Australia. You know, not today Australia, because Chris hates Australian accents and that. But he created a whole bunch of really interesting characters, and it's more so about the characters than the fact that there's a bull shark swimming around. So it's led by a British actress. I forget her name, but I think she's in Outlander and.
I think is she the lead of Outlander?
I don't know. She wouldn't be the lead of the Outlander. I'll look it up right now.
Neil, is your wife, as being a female, an Outlander fan, like they all are, or is she not? That's not her thing.
I don't recall. I don't think we've watched it. I don't know what it is.
Well, the book series. There's a giant book series that females seem to enjoy.
No, she's my lovely wife is more of the period dramas. The "Ooh, Mr. Darcy."
Yeah, this is that's what Outlander is.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
All right. Why have I got the impression it's something about someone in the sci-fi setting?
Well,
landing and fighting monsters, or is this a movie with the same?
There's a movie called there's a movie with Jim Caviezel that's about that. Yes, agreed. Yes, but there's a book series where a woman goes who's on a honeymoon with her husband or something, and then she goes back in time to like the Scottish Rebellion versus like the Redcoats, and like her husband's genetic ancestor is like this evil British villain, and it looks like him. So she gets a bit like, and then obviously then there's a handsome Scottish rebel that like, you know, that she diddles, and then so like 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 whoops, like. So the premise itself, I'm going, this sounds like something your wife would watch. Like they're just like.
We need to edit this segment out. Because when she comes to listen to it, when this episode goes live, she's going to listen to this and go, oh, I haven't heard of that. I'll have to try that. And I don't know how much more Bridgerton, Downton Abbey stuff I can really stomach.
Congratulations, Neil. You've created the next soundbite. Okay, so the actress's name is Hermione, probably. Hermione Caulfield. She was in Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, Last Jedi, but only as like a pilot.
Yes.
Yeah, but I pilot.
That's what?
A pilot. So not a big role. She was in King Arthur, the bad one. And she was in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is a fantastic film.
So she's done some weird shit.
Yeah, well, she does a bit of it. She's in a lot of horror, which is probably why she took up this film. It's it's called The Fear Below, and like it's just premise is like it's 1947, so a couple of gangsters did a robbery, got some gold bullions, and then roll the truck into the river, and then they've got to hire some local divers to get the gold out, and they're basically going, you know, they'll get it out and then we'll kill them. And as they go in there, like old school, you know, diving gear, you know, you got to bolt on the plates and stuff, and they go in there, and then like bull shark, and it was a very, very interesting take, like a period piece with a shark in it, and it was like just fantastic. And if Chris watched it, he'd be like, "Oh, I hate that guy," and then that guy would die, and you know, so he'd be satisfied. Much like how you like Edge of Tomorrow, how you know you really don't like Tom Cruise, but he dies a lot, so it makes you happy.
That was a fine movie.
But yeah, no, Fear Below. Check it out. It's coming. I think it's coming out on streaming early next year. I got lucky enough to see it in cinemas before it. It wasn't in there very long because it's an Australian movie,
which means
it gets no support from the government whatsoever, unless it's like, "G'day, mate. Welcome to the Red Outback." With our government at Neil, with its grants, it'll give people grants, movie makers and filmmakers, but it's got to meet a certain amount of requirements to get that grant.
Unless you're Hugh Jackman, and then they just give you the money.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, Mel Gibson. I don't know if there's someone else, or just basically Marvel. They filmed a lot of
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Like they've got the pull to swing by But if you're a small town, local struggling filmmaker, then you'll get a grant, but it has to, basically be the most Crocodile Dundee, essentially.
Shrimps have to be on the barbie. Lots of Struths and Cobbers.
Yeah.
Everything I hate.
Yes. and yeah, Fear Below has none of that. It's just like there's no annoying Australian accent except for one guy who hams it up and dies. So but no, fantastic film. Are you ready for some Cavill?
I am ready for some Cavill.
Always.
All right. Now this is more of a discussion than a appreciation. I mean, we'll still appreciate the guy, but
we will always appreciate the guy.
There's a bit of news
about his child, how his child is starting to fly already because.
No. This is more so about him landing another role. Henry Cavill to lead Voltron. Do you think this is going to get the Warhammer treatment?
I don't know how I feel about this because I love Voltron. Obviously, it's giant robots that connect together to fight. Okay, so it's everything I like.
Yes,
but I don't trust Amazon to make to do the. I don't trust them to respect the source material. I don't trust them to understand that they'll probably make it more gritty and all like, oh yeah, we'll try our combining lines, but I don't trust. It's like no, it's not meant to be that way. It's meant to be fun. Like I don't know. Like
on earth makes you think that Amazon wouldn't respect the source material of a project? What could possibly make you think that?
I don't know, Neil. I don't know.
I got one response. The fact that Jack the Reacher show has gotten renewed for a 4th season, and that is 100% accurate to the source material.
I think it all right twice a day.
I think it all.
Yes.
I think it all depends on who's making it.
It's a certain. I don't know. There was a thing that I was super excited about. It was called Wheel of Time because I love the books of Wheel of. They are my favorite books. I got all my friends to watch it, and then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!"
And you gave it the Last Jedi treatment of I'm going to pretend to love this.
Yes, I tried, and then as I continued to watch, I was like going, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." Oh
yeah, but
no. Oh no!
But who worked on it? That's the question.
And then let us not forget
your other favorite, Lord of the Rings.
Rings of Power.
Yeah, but that was doomed from the beginning. We knew that was doomed from the beginning.
Sure.
It's concerning that they've obviously everyone is familiar with the fact that Henry Cavill is supposedly in talks with Games Workshop and Amazon to produce a series of 40K projects, a cinematic universe in that setting. And I believe they've got till December to agree. The rumor is they've got till December to agree on the conditions of the contract. Otherwise, it's not happening. And there's a lot of rumors and people on X saying, "Oh, I've got a friend that works here that says this. Well, I know someone that says that." If they're announcing that Henry Cavill is being put onto another project, would that signal that he's doing it as well? I don't think so. I think this might be them saying, guys, we don't want to admit that we screwed the pooch on this one.
Yeah.
We're just going to say, oh, he's on this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This takes part. Yeah. This takes priority. I don't know. They could do it. Could they do this well?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Henry Cavill is a man that respects the source material to the point where the showrunners will kick him off a show. You know? So maybe even with the Warhammer stuff that was going on, maybe he was going like, you know, super serious about source material and stuff, and they were like, this ain't going to work. You know?
Yeah, true.
There are rumors about that, but the rumors and...
Rumors, yeah. Yes.
Well, there's always rumors about something, but am I excited? I don't know. Again, I have seen Western studios do excellent adaptations of anime. Sorry, one of them called One Piece, and that's because the creator reads all the scripts, corrects them, and then like he even now admits he made one mistake where the studio begged him to let him do something, and he said yes. And now he said, like, I'm not doing that again. Like, he's like, so, like, he's like, because they showed Luffy's grandfather early in the show. And they said, and like, the writer was saying, oh, this is going to be a good idea. And he's like going, no. He comes in season 2 or 3, as per this anime, and said, oh, it's going to set up really well, blah, blah, blah. And now the guy creator's going to say, like, this was a dumb idea. Shouldn't have done it. And so now, like, he's probably going to be even more hardcore in the season 2 to be like, going, nope, you're going to stick to... And so... I that's what I like, but again, that's not every day.
Would you trust if Henry Cavill had more creative control?
Oh no! Look, if Henry Cavill had control of everything, I'd be like, sure, make me the greatest Voltron ever, because I trust you. Yeah. I trust Henry Cavill to make me the most beautiful Voltron.
Yes.
Because again, in these giant robot fighting mechanized anime, they have to first try to fight the enemy with the individual lions. Have to. It's a must. And then they must say, oh no, like the enemy's too powerful. Well, there's one thing we could try, even though we just did that the last 106 episodes. We'll combine our might. And then they don't immediately draw the sword. That's also a key thing, because if you draw the sword, it's too powerful. You must fight the monster without the sword. And then, only when you're in the direst of straits, one of your characters inside of your anime mech has an amazing anime flashback moment where he thinks about friendship, family, and whatever it means to him. And his older brother, sister, lost loved one / the wife, like dead wife, said, remember, in times of need, draw out your magical sword. And he goes, aha, this is that time, not yet. And then like he gets up and then draws out the magical sword and destroys the monster. It is a theme formula that must be adhered to. Even there was an episode of Rick and Morty, which I was like laughing because Rick found the ferret, the Gotron ferrets, which is basically the Voltron lions, but they're ferrets, and he was telling his family, no, don't join yet. No, we have to fight them individually first. And then he goes, no. Then you have to say like, he was like, no, you have to say like, oh, we'll try something. And he forms all together. He goes, no, don't draw the sword out. We gotta fight without the sword. And then like he literally like. He made sure his family fought them in the exact method. I respected that so much. I was like, going, yes, that is exactly what you should do.
Yeah. No, I've always loved Voltron. It's such a cool concept.
Yeah. And I like it's funny when they released the Voltron toys. Recently, I think it was fairly recently. They knew who the audience was. It was like they were like $400 because they're like perfectly recreated. They're like going, "This is not a child's toy." Yeah. You know who exactly the audience for these Voltron toys are. Yeah. I just put something in the chat that I think you would.
I did see the Captain America and
in an MMA fight. Yeah, it's like going, "Oh yeah, I'm just a total normal dude. Let me just fight this."
Yeah, it would be like Superman.
It would definitely be like
It would be the new One Punch Man.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Now I got a clip of the week. Because I saw this. I don't know who made this, and if anyone watching knows, then let me know so I can give them some credit. But this is the MCU versus Bowser. so that's the premise. Wait for this one.
Oh, what the hell?
This one's great.
The hell?
Thanos. I don't know who made it, but it was funny. Came across my thing.
That was awesome.
I do love, like, they've got all the people that do 8-bit versions of songs now. Well, I think they've done them for a while.
Yeah, like, it's funny how something that was a limitation, like, is now like a whole genre of song and sounds. Like, 8-bit, 12-bit. Like, and it's kind of funny that, like, with games, there's so many 8-bit games now, or 12-bit games, that have so much advanced technology behind them in terms of, like, the, you know, like, they had so, like, because it's obviously the game, it's not restricted by memory.
Yeah.
And you can do so much with and people just, you know, people love nostalgia. People really love nostalgia. They love that feeling of those sort of 8-bit styled games and graphics. You know, I think if everyone could live in the 80s, they would probably, like, you know, they would choose to live in the 80s. Remember the heydays of, you know, what the 80s were. Look, I wasn't born in I was born in the 80s, but obviously I grew up in the early 90s, and we still had that sort of, like, awesomeness overlap. We are the last, Jamie.
Yes.
What about you, Neil? What era was your era? Was 80s your heyday as well?
I was born at the beginning of the 80s, so I got to grow up in it.
You got to grow up in it,
and I got to experience it. I remember people running around with mismatched neon socks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the hairstyles, all the fashion. I love me some 80s nostalgia. I love the synthwave genre of music.
Love synthwave.
I love it so much. There's some really good bands out there that they do 80s style songs, but it seems like synthwave started off being a bit tongue-in-cheek nostalgia-y.
Mm-hmm.
But it's grown into, no, these songs are really good, but they also sound like they could have come out in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy those. And as I keep saying to my kids, no, you can't watch this modern remake of something. We're watching the original.
Yeah.
But
that's like the game as well, Stardew Valley, like pixelized graphics. There is not a cartridge alive that could fit Stardew Valley on. Like, that game is so huge. Like, imagine like Stardew Valley, 14 cartridges to play this one game. Like, you could not fit that kind of game on any sort of like old system. Jamie,
Yes. You want to crack into our topic?
let's crack in.
So we're talking about sequels that never got made, or way back when, movies that we maybe wanted to have a sequel, or that were signed up to have a sequel, but they got cancelled. There's plenty of them out there. Do any come to mind for you guys while I pull up this? I found a website that's basically got every movie that got cancelled.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many. The Beetlejuice goes to Hawaii.
Yes, I heard about that one.
Which was supposed to be straight after the success of Beetlejuice. This was the concept for the sequel. Star Wars. I think all the various versions of the Star Wars, the original 3 films, and especially the sequel trilogy, and there's the original George Lucas concepts. Then there's the version that was the version of 9 that was supposed to be a thing. But then it was Colin Trevorrow was responsible for that one, and creative differences, which is
I love creative differences.
And my personal favorite is the absolute nightmare that was the production of Alien 3. And not just what got made and the story behind that, but also the multitude of script variations and complete rewrites it went through. So much so that, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, William Gibson wrote a version of Alien 3 that sidelined Ripley and focused on Hicks and Bishop. And that script was floating around. I remember picking up a copy of that script on the internet in the late 90s. And that got turned into a graphic novel in recent years. And Audible did an audio drama of it. It was also, after that got scrapped, there was a version where it started to take more the shape of what Alien 3 would become, but it was set on a giant wooden planetoid that had its own thin atmosphere, populated with monks that have been exiled from Earth by Weyland Yutani. And that was originally, I think that was written by David Toohey, who... No, it wasn't. David Toohey came in to redo it a bit, and he wanted to do Prisoners. And he eventually left that project and adapted that into a film you might have heard called Pitch Black.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
One of Vin Diesel's first.
Big success.
Just because I've been on a big Alien universe jag at the moment.
It seems like there's a theme of Neil's mind at the moment.
Yeah. There was also a very interesting concept. The director Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9, Elysium, and Chappie.
Yep. Chappie.
He was in line to make Alien 5, only Alien 5 was going to be a direct sequel to Aliens.
Ooh.
And it would negate Alien 3. It would negate Alien Resurrection. And it got quite a way through the concept. After the project was cancelled, because Ridley Scott at the same time was gearing up to do Prometheus.
Oh.
And because Ridley Scott was involved in that project, Neil Blomkamp's project didn't get done. But a while later, he released a lot of the concept art for this. And you had what looks like a horrifically scarred Hicks and Ripley wearing some kind of suicide vest, an alien queen.
Ooh.
If I remember correctly, it was like a jungle setting. There was Wayland Yutani reverse engineering the space jockey ship. I will say space jockey and not engineers because I'm still not a fan of that. How would you guys feel if that got made and it was a case of watch this film, it's an alternate sequel?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. How would you even sell that as... would you literally just have a title card that says, this is set after this film, or...
Just make a movie, let people watch it. I mean, if you got... Like we were talking about last episode, the amount of Musketeers movies they just make in 1 year, just do it. Just make your Alien movie, Just do it.
Maybe a throwaway line where Ripley comes out of cryosleep and says, "Oh, I had a horrible dream. My head was shaved."
Yeah. Yep. Probably the best option. Best option.
Yeah. Anyway, I pulled up this one because the one Chris went ooh to straight away. Beetlejuice goes Hawaiian. So it said the plot set events of the first film, Beetlejuice, go to vacation Hawaii. Rest of the plot is unknown. Why did it get cancelled? The writers didn't care for the idea of a Beetlejuice sequel. Kevin Smith was sent the script and said, "Really? Didn't we have all we had to say with the first one?"
Oh.
No. But yeah, and then, we got a sequel. How many years later?
Of course.
Yeah. Now I've got a list to go through.
Where's your list?
Oh yeah. Hellboy 3 with Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, so Hellboy 3 was a sequel to the 2008 sequel, Golden Army. How great was that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Ron Perlman was going to come back, Guillermo del Toro. Why was it cancelled? The only known reason is that a screenplay was not made. Despite all of that, Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman have expressed interest in making a third film.
He would be way too old now.
Yeah. But then at the same time, they'd probably just CGI it or, stunt double. You could have Ron Perlman in his walking around kind of as Hellboy, but then when he has the fight and punch and all that stuff.
Yeah, true, but I did again. I love I love Golden Army.
The Golden Army was great.
Would I want him to possibly tarnish his reputation by dipping his foot back into that? Well, no.
Yeah.
No. He's an award-winning actor. He's an award-winning filmmaker now, so...
His Pinocchio is fantastic as well.
I've not seen that.
Well worth the watch. Well worth the watch. Came out I think it came out the same year as the Disney one and just shat all over Disney.
Oh yeah, Disney one was not very,
Yeah.
Disney one was not very good.
All right. There was an even 9-page script for E.T. 2.
E.T. 2.
Yeah.
After you told me about this, I looked into it and this blew my mind.
It was pretty dark, eh? So the plot was the film was supposed to have Elliot and his friends being kidnapped by extraterrestrial villains, and E.T. would have to save them. No, I've read the 9-page script, and it's super dark. Like it's like Happy Go Lucky is the first film, and then suddenly like these evil aliens get the signal that ET's been sending out, and they're like at war with ET's race, and now they're coming to wreak havoc essentially. But I think Steven Spielberg said he never really wanted to do a sequel anyway.
Yeah, I mean, why would you?
But he had the idea there.
Okay.
I read it was actually Spielberg didn't want to do it, but he was contractually obligated to do a treatment. So he wrote something that the studio would never go for because he needed to fulfill his contract.
Yeah,
but he didn't want it to be a thing, and so he wrote it where Elliot and all his friends were being tortured by aliens. Because
they would
children,
they would not go for that.
No.
Yeah, it's like when Ben Folds realized he had like a certain amount of songs to write for a company or whatever, and it had been years and years and years, and they're going like, we need a song, and then he literally wrote a song. This is the 8th song, and it was his guy. It's like, this is the 8th song I owe, or something like that.
That would be awesome.
Like that's what he did,
Malicious compliance.
Oh.
All right, this is controversial. Remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies with the Jim Henson puppets, right?
The violence, yes, I do remember the violence.
Well, there was a 4th one planned after the 3rd one.
The 3rd one was the superior of all the Turtles films.
Really? Truly?
It had samurais in it, and they went back in time.
Now, well, if we want to talk about that, the story, great. Plot, great. Theme, great. Puppets were horrendously bad.
Yeah, Jim Henson wasn't supplying puppets at that point.
And no, well, I think he wasn't happy with how violent the Turtles were. So he did the first 2 films.
Yeah.
And then they moved on to, which makes me think, I have this glimmer or this idea, and this is my theory about James Gunn's Superman. It's probably going to have a great plot. It's probably going to have some great acting. It's probably going to have all this stuff, but visually, the design of it doesn't look good. If you know what I mean? Like the costumes are just
you could be right.
horrendously bad. Because I can't think of a film that James Gunn has written, story-wise, plot-wise, dialogue and everything, that has been bad.
Really? I think he's got some... surely he's got some stinkers in his backlog.
I don't know. Remember, he started with Scooby-Doo, remember?
Yeah, and you're saying that's good?
Well, I think it was perfectly casted. And
casting-wise...
it was 2000 and whatever. I remember enjoying it thoroughly back then. But again, a lot of movies don't age well.
Actually, what's his involvement with the upcoming Superman? Is he completely writing and directing?
Writing it,
he's the head of DC, and this is his project. He just released a new a new image of Crypto, Superman and the dog. Which again is cool because like we've never seen him in a movie before.
It's too early.
Really?
It's too early.
Did you want another origin story?
It's too early for that.
Yeah. Anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, The Foot Walks Again. The story would have had a 5th turtle join the team. Named Jack Kirby.
You hate when there's additional turtles.
I hate when there's additional turtles. Like that's. I'm sorry. I'm with Laird on that. All right.
Okay.
Eastman was pro 5th turtle. Laird was like, don't you do that thing. Yeah, and it was going to have Fang, Shredder, Spider, Nano Spider, all these comic book characters, which could have been cool. And Casey with electronic powered fists.
What?
An evil version of April. The only known information of the plot of the film was the 4th live-action TMNT film was pitched and originally scripted as grittier, less kid-friendly adventure. And to that end, Kevin Eastman designed a more brutish, hardcore 5th turtle.
Is that what you always wanted, Jamie? More grittier turtles?
Oh, 100%. And we're getting it with the Last Ronin movie, which I can't remember the latest details on that, but it looks promising. And it's going to be like the first MA R-rated Ninja Turtle movie, and I can't wait. Because that whole Last Ronin comic series is phenomenal. It is. It's cyberpunk to a T. So Chris should like it. All right. Got another good one for you. Yeah, the sequel to The Punisher with Thomas Jane.
Oh, why would you want to do a sequel to that?
Why? Because
Thomas Jane's awesome. I like Thomas Jane. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he was fantastic. But like the second one was going to have Michael Keaton as Jigsaw.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so the plot involved Frank Castle, now as Punisher, drives to New York City to find and kill his next target. However, it was revealed that the next target was Jigsaw, going to be the next main villain. Why was it cancelled? Thomas Jane dropped out of the film due to creative differences and the budget of the film being cut. In addition to director Walter Hill being turned down as director by Lionsgate, he stated, What I won't do is spend months of my life sweating over a movie that I just don't believe in. I've always loved the Marvel guys and wish them well. Meanwhile, I'll continue to search for a film that one day might stand with all those films that the fans have asked me to watch. Yeah, so it's like creative differences and all that. I mean,
it's always creative differences.
Because they did a short. Thomas Jane did a short.
Yep.
And it was like much more darker than the movie, apparently. He loved the character, and I think from memory, like he couldn't get the people making the film to wrap their heads around the idea that how violent the Punisher is supposed to be. You know?
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing. Like you can't go, yay, Punisher, you know?
No. He's violent.
Yes. And look, I say what you will, I love that first film.
No, great film.
Like all of it, down to John Travolta, perfect casting.
I love it. It was a good film.
Yeah. And very, very, very dark. All right, another interesting one that I came across, one we all know about, Spider-Man 4. It's going to be Tobey Maguire's last number 4.
I don't know. Could he top number 3? Like that was the best film.
What, The Dance?
The Dance, Jamie. The Dance.
Yeah. Which again, all these horrible movies have great memes because the two things I love from that movie. No, the one thing is the meme that came out with that guy Rent.
No,
I love that guy.
Everything about that film is just Cinemaster gold. It's just
until the last 30 minutes. No, okay. Spider-Man 4 was planned sequel to Spider-Man 3 for what would have been the 4th film, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man franchise. It was planned to be released in 2011. The plot. The storyline of Spider-Man 4 was going to take place 5 years after the events of Spider-Man 3. Peter Parker was going to leave Mary Jane and enter into a new relationship that Chris will probably highly approve of, Felicia Hardy.
I do.
Black Cat.
I approve. Black Cat. I approve.
However, they were going to be brought into conflict when Peter was going to kill Felicia's father, the sinister supervillain known as the Vulture. The planned script ended with the despondent and regretful Peter losing his powers and discarding the Spider-Man suit in a dark alleyway on a stormy night, ending the franchise on a sour note.
Wow.
I was there until the end. And
yeah.
Just,
Probably why it didn't happen. Now, interesting enough, the cast. Obviously, Tobey
Anne Hathaway, interesting.
Anne Hathaway as Felicia Hardy. I think she would have been great, but she's basically... But the one that stood out to me, Bruce Campbell as Mysterio.
Oh.
So Bruce Campbell had all these little cameos throughout the movie?
Yep.
So he would have been revealed to be Mysterio.
That's interesting.
I think he would have been a great Mysterio.
Yeah.
Some good names on there.
Yeah. So it would have been...
When was this supposed to be?
2011.
What? 2011?
Yeah. Like 13 years
Dallas
ago.
Howard there?
Yeah, well, she was in the third one as Gwen Stacy.
Okay.
And they were going to bring...
I don't remember that much about it.
Yeah.
Was there not... What's Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery where they all get together?
Sinister Six.
Sinister Six?
Yes. Was that not supposed to be a thing? They wanted to...
That would have been in...
something they also wanted to do.
No, that would have been in...
That would have been the third Garfield.
The Garfield franchise.
In this, it looks
I thought they
like...
wanted to do that with Sam Raimi as well.
Probably.
Well, it looks like it because you got the Lizard. They were going to turn Kurt Connors into the Lizard. Because he's in all the movies. And you got Mysterio there.
Yeah, you've almost got the Sinister Six right there.
Yeah, but no, that was Andrew Garfield's thing. as well. But why was it cancelled? Because Spider-Man 3 was not well received by critics, audiences, and fans. Sam Raimi was displeased with how Spider-Man 3 turned out. The release date became an issue since Sam Raimi couldn't meet the summer 2011 release date that Sony wanted. Sony wanted multiple villains in the film, but Sam Raimi wanted to stick with only one. Again, creative differences, which is what kind of ruined Spider-Man 3. The storyline championed by Raimi was dour and downbeat, with a main antagonist that wasn't seen as marketable enough by the Sony executives, who they wanted Electro or Carnage, but he wanted Vulture.
Okay.
Which again, and it's ironic that Tom Holland's Spider-Man starts off with Vulture. And how good was Vulture? Fitted in perfectly.
But having said that, to do Vulture, they had to just not make it Vulture. To do Vulture well, they had to get away from all the Vulture tropes.
Like the
life sucking, the old man in green spandex. Yeah. They had to get rid of all of it to make Vulture work. So let's not pretend that was Vulture for any.
Yeah. All right, I've got two more to show you. One, because we're sort of on the topic.
I know about this one.
The Adrian Brody Predators.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
It was described as Die Hard meets Predator.
Yes.
Oh, that's such a weird casting.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody in that Predator film, but I think it worked well. I think it was good. I don't actually
What if I got that?
Yeah, the premise for Predators lent itself to having a very interesting cast.
Yeah.
Dare I say a diverse cast?
A diverse cast, yes.
I can't find it.
Anyway.
Yeah, all right.
I can give you the overview.
Yeah, give me the Neil, give us the overview of this film.
The spoiler alert, if anyone has not watched Predators, you should have done already, because
great film.
I think it's a good film.
Great film. Love it.
The two surviving characters, I can't remember what Adrian Brody's character was called, and Alice Braga's character, they are stood looking over the jungle as more prey is being dropped in
as the parts go down. Yeah.
They are they round up these people and start forming a resistance to fight the predators, which the predators obviously they like that idea, but they want to take the big predator's ship and use it to get back to Earth. So the first half is them in the jungle fighting predators, and then they'll decide to allow themselves to be captured so they can get onto the predator's ship and then escape their cage. And then they're doing like a Die Hard where they're trying to pick off the predators in their ship.
They did a Die Hard. Outstanding.
Yeah, and then eventually they would win out to get back to Earth and find out it was hundreds of years into the future because they'd all been put into cryosleep and then thawed out before they were dropped onto the planet.
That sounds awesome.
That's not a movie that will sell at all.
What the hell? That's incredible.
Well, apparently Predators flopped at the box office, so they didn't get a sequel.
Oh.
I mean, it's the same with Independence Day. Now the second one was mediocre, but the third one would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, but that's the second one's stupid, so dumb.
Yes,
oh my god,
And then because Independence Day 2 did so poorly, they cancelled the Stargate trilogy. They were doing a new Stargate trilogy.
And you know what annoys me about Independence Day 2?
Everything?
Well, apart from just dumb ideas.
It exists.
It exists.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would have been incredible was the president got into an FA-18 Hornet and went up there and fought the aliens of the old school, not with their fancy new alien ships. And you might say, that's ridiculous. Who wants to see that? I know a certain Maverick Top Gun movie came out where he got into his Tomcat and fought a Russian 5th-gen fighter. Did that movie do well? I don't know. You tell. I don't know. Did that movie do well? I think it did. Do you want to see that?
Yeah, I heard that movie made some money.
It made a bit of money. Yes,
it made all the money.
And it also made Tom Cruise looked like a somewhat a respectable actor. Like I was going
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so Independence Day 3 was planned, third film. It was announced by Roland Emmerich shortly after Independence Day Resurgent was released in theaters. Plot: Jack Morrison, Dylan Hiller, Patricia Whitmore, and David Levinson formed the next alliance to take down the new aliens. So it would have taken the fight to,
Yeah.
which would have been a cool premise. Get off the planet and go, invade their planet for once. Negative reviews from critics.
Yep.
So they just went, nah, not happening.
Look, that's his own dumb fault. Like you made some stupid decisions in that film.
Yep.
And he forgot what made the first one good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I reckon they should have done a sequel, to be honest.
No.
Here's one for you. This is the bonus one. Batman versus Godzilla. But look at the release date.
1966. What
Can
the
you
hell?
imagine a 1966 Batman versus Godzilla movie?
I can't not imagine a Batman versus Godzilla movie now, Jamie. Jamie, tell me about this epic tale.
Well, as plot, Batman does a battle with Godzilla.
Jamie, solid premise.
I need more, Jamie. I need more.
People thought, we'll probably do ChatGPT script, won't you? Next episode.
I'm going to do that, Jamie.
People thought it would be strange why was it cancelled? People thought it would be strange for a superhero to fight a big monster.
Well, that aged well.
I don't think people understand what people want to see, which is I would absolutely want to.
Well, what you're saying is this is ahead of its time.
It was ahead of its time, Jamie.
In 1966, Toho released the film Ebirah, Horror of the Deep, also known in North America as Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. So instead of Batman, Godzilla versus Sea Monster, they went Batman fights Godzilla, or Godzilla fights a Kraken or something.
This is what makes me angry. They have such an amazing premise, full of potential, and yet what do they do with it? They squander it. They squander the potential.
Ahead of their time, Chris. Ahead of
their time. Ahead of their time.
You remember the point I made last time about remakes and reboots and how you shouldn't remake classics, pick the things that failed.
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch of amazing sequels that were never made that we've just talked about. And the majority of the reasons why they were cancelled were its predecessor didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It wasn't well received. Remake those, reopen the potential for those great sequels that were never made.
That's it.
That's an interesting thought. Because you're right. If it wasn't well received, maybe try again. Like maybe just wait some time.
There's a reason. Again. There's a reason why there was a huge gap between Batman and Robin and Christopher Nolan's masterpiece. Give it some time. Try again. Chris is still waiting for Mario 2, the Bob Hoskins Mario 2.
Oh my word.
That was just an outstanding. I love that film.
You loved that film as a kid.
I still love that film even today because it had like a post-credit scene in it. Well, not post-credit. It had like the come with me quickly. We need your help. Like it had like that.
Like the unopened ending.
It's your kids, Marty.
Yeah.
You've got to do something about your kids.
That movie confused me as a child so much because I'd played the original NES game. I'd played the SNES games. And then this came out and the Goombas weren't little mushroom guys with angry faces. They were
giant lizard dudes,
giant dinosaur things. And Hooper was Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
Okay. And I believe that the production for that film was so flipping bad that Bob Hoskins said that they were drunk for most of it because they just didn't take it seriously. So they were just drinking because we're signed on to do it. We'll do it, but
And they had amazing jump boots, which were like actually just like magical, like technology boots with jump pads in them because It's that era of like going, how do we explain video game powers? We'll give him magical jump boots. Like, look, was it the best film of all time? Yes. Yes, it was. Yes. Yes, it was. I'm sorry. I would still say, look. If I were to compare the Chris Pratt Mario movie to this Mario film, I still see areas where this Mario film did it, like that original Mario film did it better. Luigi was more involved. Luigi was like, and I really enjoyed his character, and I thought the actor who played Mario did very well. So I think so I think it was a strong showing for an amazing film that I think is underappreciated to this day. What do you think, Jamie?
I barely remember it. I just remember people not liking it. But then I also remember liking it as a kid, but I don't remember anything about it.
Well, I think you need a rewatch of that one, and I think once you rewatch it, you realize, oh my god, this film was ahead of its time.
All right, I'll do it.
Remember, there's no such thing as a bad film. It's just that you're just ahead of its time. That's all it is. Like, you're just
wow. I didn't know that The Last Jedi was ahead of its time.
Okay, there's some exceptions to the rule of bad film. With that being one of them.
Yeah. I didn't realize that movie with what was it? James Hawkeye dude.
Yeah.
The Hansel and Gretel. Yeah.
That was awesome. You shut your dirty mouth. That was amazing. Like,
I knew it was going to be horrible when I saw it in the credits. Produced by Will Ferrell.
That movie was that Hansel and Gretel and Monster Hunters was fantastic. I don't know what your.
It was bad, dude.
I don't know what your. No, Jamie. You're remembering it wrong.
You go back and watch Van Helsing and tell me how it is, all right?
Van Helsing also was fantastic.
No, even better.
I like that one.
Go back and watch The Phantom with Billy Zane.
Oh, now there is an amazing film
where the stunt doubles don't look anything like the people.
But that was before people cared, Jamie. That was before The Matrix. That was before
barely. Like, that was not by much.
That was before they realized if they took the actors away for 6 months and trained them, they could make them look somewhat decent. That was before they realized some interesting concepts about, like, if they know what they're doing, they'll look awesome at doing it. Oh, and then we could stop doing these quick cuts and we can just show the actors doing the thing. Oh, what a crazy concept, I know, but.
You've put in Batman by Godzilla.
Do you know what that looks like? That's not Batman versus a Godzilla. That's it. It almost looks like he's just gently lifting his chin up, gazing into his eyes.
It'll be all right, kid.
Yeah.
Swear to me you'll take down Mothra. It actually looks more like he's preparing him for the next round of a fight. Yeah. You get back out there and get Carl.
Yeah.
You take that monkey. Swear to me you'll kill that monkey. That's funny.
Godzilla.
You've got to get swear to me in every comment.
Swear to me. I love it. Don't you just love a good Batman?
I do love a good Batman. I do miss Kevin Conroy, though.
Of course, he was the best. He was the best Batman. Mm-hmm. He was a good Batman.
Yeah.
Do you think, Jamie? How long do you think we're going to get another Batman film? Do you think?
A couple of years, because Batman 2 is coming out with the Robert Pattinson Batman's coming out.
Robert Pattinson Batman.
And eventually James Gunn's going to put one out. I hear that Penguin show is pretty good. It's been doing well.
I hear that too. I hear Penguin actually isn't shit.
I mean, it's just like a gangster show, so yeah, mobster,
But it's kind of funny. It's like going, isn't that sad when you hear? Oh my god, I hear a Warner Brothers show isn't shit. Ooh.
Well, they've always fluctuated, Like it's. good and bad, you know. But you know what they do? They keep going. You got to respect them for that. They keep plugging along. Unlike, you know, all these movies we talked about where they're going like, no, I give up.
Yeah, so you're saying if you just put your head down, push through the problems, you'll eventually make a good film.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're saying we should take the Sharknado approach to filmmaking, just keep pumping them.
They know that they're ridiculous.
Pumping them out until one hits. I don't disagree.
People keep watching them though, Chris. That's why they keep making them.
Keep making them, and eventually they hope to make one good. Are you talking about Sharknado or Lucasfilm?
Or Disney in general. You know.
Oh no, they've what's the Pixar thing that just came out? That's done quite well.
Yeah, Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2. That's done quite well.
But apparently the studio hated it that Disney basically came to them and told them that they had to make a normal film that was like down the line, like normal, and they didn't like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there was apparently a contingent of Pixar that was very put out at the mandates that they just make a normal film.
A normal kids film that made billions of dollars. Oh my God! You mean we have to make money? What do you mean we have to make money?
Yeah. Oh, they're probably all majority of these writers are socialists, so you know they expect that it just gets handed to them, right?
Yes, the state provides.
Just keep giving us the money.
Oh,
it's not like we'll turn into Venezuela at all.
But you know what? We could turn to El Salvador, which means then their savior would then arise through the ranks.
We just have to first become the murder capital of the world?
Yes.
and then, and only then.
And only then.
But you need to take that last step, though. You can become an S-hole of a country, but then you need that great leader to step forwards.
Yeah. But sadly, here people just run away.
Yeah, but wouldn't you? But, forward. Speaking of Mario films, wouldn't you want to see a Mario film live action with Chris Pratt and Kate Beckinsale as Princess Peach?
What the? I'm just going to say this. He looks more like Christian Bale than Chris Pratt.
Actually, that does look a bit more Chris Bale, doesn't it? Okay, you know what? Yeah, they actually, man, it's like if they had a child. It's like if they had a child.
But then they already did this with the Saturday Night Live skit with Pedro Pascal doing a gritty, yeah, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No.
But see, that's the film I want to see, Jamie. That's the film I want to see.
It's a me,
Mario.
It's a me, a Mario. That's fantastic. Welcome to the Chris is Playing with AI Again podcast.
Anyway.
Okay, all these things. Anyway, before we wrap it up, Neil, I believe your lovely wife has very close to finishing her next book. Did you want to plug her wares?
Broken Cabin. Broken Cabin is now in its final edit and should be available very soon. And I was privy to the first 5 chapters, first draft 5 chapters of a new book. I believe it's going to be another standalone story, unrelated to, say, the Rising Dawn universe. And yes, within those 5 chapters, it got spicy.
Of course it did.
There's no messing around. So
don't you want to lead into it a bit longer? Make them wait until at least the.
I did finish reading the first 5 chapters on a laptop last night. Turned to her and said, "They got into that quite quick, didn't they?" And that, apparently the plan is, yes, we need to get to that point because then lots of drama and turmoil is going to rear its head. So
okay, look,
that's new. That's in the that's just been started. So that one will be a way off. But Broken Cabin, I say, is just going through its final edit now, and that should be coming out soon.
Awesome. Well, all the links for Rebecca Cassells, socials, website, and Amazon and all that, where you can buy her books, are in the show notes below, guys. Check it out, and don't forget to check out Martin Kern's stuff too. Chris has got another picture in the chat. That just looks like a rom-com. Like, where's the Mario?
It's where he's wearing the red and blue.
That's like a soft what do you call it?
Soft romantic. It's romantic.
It's like a soft hit. It's like when they said, Megan Fox is April O'Neil. Look, she's wearing a yellow jacket.
That's true. That is true.
That's all it is. Yeah, guys, thanks for listening.
Now, Jamie, I believe you have something to send us out with. Something
Am I really doing this?
I believe you have something. Look, you can record it later. That's fine.
No, I'll do it live. Otherwise, it'll lose all its.
Yes.
It'll lose all its.
I believe you have something.
But yeah, guys,
give him the rundown of what this is before you.
All right. Yeah, well, I will in 5 seconds. Just I'm doing the wrap up.
Fine.
thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Send us an email if you want to reach out. Thanks to all our new listeners and all our new subscribers. We've had a massive increase on Instagram, 340 something now. So thanks, guys. And now Chris demanded this of me and apologized to Neil. Chris chat GPT'd a song.
Do you want to explain what the song is?
The song is about an MCU executive singing to Henry Cavill, begging him to join the MCU. Now, here's a guitar I prepared earlier. This is to the tune of one of my favorite songs, or Chris's favorite songs. That ironically he wanted me to sing at his wedding, but it was a breakup song, so it's kind of inappropriate. Kind of inappropriate. Mm-hmm. All right, it's the morning. Hopefully my voice holds up. Hopefully this sounds like it's going to come through all right. All right. Okay. Only one for Henry Cavill on behalf of the MCU. Heard you've stepped away from them because we can't just deny it. There's a spot here just for you, but we can't let you fight it. We feel so fired up, and we won't stop. We just wanna tell you so you know. Near I go, scream my lungs out and try to get to you. You are my only one, and I let go. And there's just no one that gets me like you do. You are my only I'm so sincerely making plans with you, our only one, and we hope you join our family. So take our hand and be the chosen one. Here I go, scream my lungs out and try to get to you. You are my only one. I let go, and there's just no one like you. You are my only one. Henry Cavill, you're our only one. Henry Cavill.
So,
Wow.
Jamie, you say that's a dumb song, but if you were Henry Cavill and some huge bigwig executive from Marvel, Kevin Feige, was on your lawn with a full band, like literally pointing to you like, you are my only, you would be swayed into signing for the MCU, would you not?
Or slightly disturbed.
No, I would be, no. You would be flattered and be like, oh my God, like Kevin Feige learned to sing, got Yellow Card together so they could sing me a song to join the MCU. If you don't think Ryan Reynolds would not be involved in this song on that kind of magnitude.
Well, Ryan Reynolds did spend years in front of Hugh Jackman's house with cupcakes, trying to bribe him to be Wolverine.
So if you don't think,
I think you got to play the man, you know.
Yeah, if you don't think Henry Cavill wouldn't appreciate Yellow Card and Kevin Feige turning up on his house singing an altered version of Only One to him to get him to join the MCU, you are crazy.
I'm just gonna see if this is actually on the internet. Henry Cavill's favorite music. Surely this has come up in conversation. Country music.
Oh, okay. I can work with that. All right, give me some time.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Country music, the music of pain.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interestingly, what
That's
the
so
list
interesting.
doesn't scream out. Cavill's well-documented love to country music because the internet says so.
And the internet would never lie.
And on that note, guys, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today.